Right, on to image style number 2, and I'm going to employ one of my favourite modifiers of all time. I'm not saying this just because it's cheap and just because it's easily accessible to most people, but I can remember the days that there weren't softboxes, it was all about umbrellas. Now, given the choice, I'd rather have a parabolic umbrella. I don't know if you can see that there, but it's sort of dome shaped, it's like half a football, as opposed to a flatter, more traditional shaped umbrella, because it gives much better control at the edge. You can feather the light still. They're very easy to transport, they're very easy to get about, and they are value for money. This is a white reflective umbrella, so it's going to give a less specular light than if it were silver. But the light basically goes into the parabola, into the dome, bounces back out. Now that's one of the big advantages of using the AD200. Let me show you why. Now, when I first saw it, I likened the AD200 to a Swiss Army knife because it has interchangeable flash heads. As standard, it comes with the normal sort of Fresnel screen that all speed lights have, and in the box for the same price is a burr bulb. So this bit clips off and it sort of replaces the normal head, and as you can see, it's not really good because it's a white umbrella, but you can see if I put my hand there indeed is a burr bulb. And what that does is it gives 180 degrees of light out, so it's very good. I'm sorry, I've just knocked that and it's sort of wobbling around, so it'll be making you feel a bit seasick on the screen. It's very good at filling modifiers, but yet again, there's a secret to getting this right, and it's a simple secret and something I'm willing to share. Right, so here I am all wobbly in freehand. As I say, for expediency, we're doing this on the iPhone 11 Pro so people can see it. If I pull back now, there you go, you can see both sides of the umbrella and you can see the flash in the burr bulb. The secret is if I come and line up both edges of the flash, sorry, not the flash, what am I talking about? The umbrella, you can see that the burr bulb is hidden within that confined of the parabola, so there's no waste of light. Everything that comes out of that bulb is going into that whole umbrella, and it's being as efficient as possible. Now obviously, if you want a little bit more contrast, all you do is pull that umbrella down so it's nearer to the bulb, so it's inside the parabola. So in effect, what you've done is you're allowing the light to spread less, so it's like having a smaller umbrella. And if I swizzle back round here, you can see that the unit is buried within the brolly, so it will make a smaller pool of light inside here, and therefore it'll be smaller, therefore it'll have greater contrast. So it's almost like wasting the potential of the umbrella that you've purchased because you're not getting the most out of it, the softest out of it. So again, if we go the opposite way again, it's hard to do this and hand hold it, maybe I won't, but if I push, a little bit impossible that, so let's just stop it wobbling and stop being silly, and I'll do it and show you again. If I push it back the other way and just keep the edge of the light, the bulb, in line with the edges of the brolly, I'm going to get the softest light that modifier is capable of producing. I do apologise for wobbling around, but as I say, this is all about getting the information out to you. So there's the example again. Unit buried into the bowl of the umbrella means that the light is smaller, it spreads less, and therefore is more contrasty. To get the biggest and softest light from any given modifier, we need to do this. Wobbly umbrella again because we've just touched it, but you can see that we've drawn the lighting unit back along the shaft of the umbrella, so that now when both edges of the umbrella are lined up, you cannot see the bulb. And with this bare bulb, it's filling the whole bowl of the umbrella and giving us the softest light that that's capable of doing. Back in the day, and I hate the fact that I've started to say that now, we used to pay an awful lot of money to have Vivitar 283 speed lights converted into bare bulb. And then from that, one of my favourite lights of all time used to be the Quantum Q flash. The benefit of that again being the bare bulb. It really is a fantastic option to have in your kit bag. So there we have it. So let's see what we can do with it. So we're going to go for one of the most sculptural shapes and forms of light that we can produce as photographers, which is the Rembrandt lighting pattern. What that means is we light into the ocular cavity of the eye furthest away from the side of the light. Sounds a bit complicated, that. I'll put a little diagram up just to show you. So we're getting light into the cavity, we're producing a shadow from the nose in a downwards direction, and we're joining that shadow with the shadow at the side of the cheek. It's a beautifully shapely pattern to use. Now, the wonderful thing with the umbrella is we're getting a 2-for-1 again, like we did in the original video that we did. This side is going to be the key light, and that's going to give us the shape and the form, and it's the bit that we aim. The rest of the umbrella is going to offer a degree of fill, and that's produced by a feature of modifiers that we refer to as wrap. It's how much the light wraps around the subject, and that's a control mechanism for contrast as well. Doesn't mean that we won't necessarily employ a fill light, but that's dependent on how we want the image to look. So let's see where we set it up and how it goes. So we've got Lily back in the camera room. We're going to take maybe a 3/4 length shot here, a little bit more fashiony again. Remember what I've just said, it's this side that produces the shape and this side that produces the fill. So we'll start with one light again, and I'll position Lily first so I can see where that light needs to go. Right, so Lily's in roughly the position I want her to be. So her face is turning this way to camera left. So I'm going to position my umbrella, my key light, so this side skips the light past the mask of her face. This bit's going to offer that wrap that we were talking about. Now, there's no modelling light with this head, which is an inconvenience, but it's not an impossibility, because the beauty of having digital cameras these days is that we can take a quick snap and see where everything is. So I just want to take a quick snap now and see if I've got this light in the right place. If not, it's a very simple move. Right, so we need to meter this, and I'm looking to get maybe f4, f5.6, 5.6 I think. So again, meter to nose, dome pointed towards modifier, and we flash, and it's 5, 6 and 4/10. I'm going to ignore those 4/10 because we're shooting a high key image, and allow the image to be slightly lighter, slightly more overexposed by those 4/10. Now, if we haven't got a modelling light, how do we roughly know the light's in the right place? Well, we're looking basically at it being about 45 degrees up and over to the side, and the way of lining the side up is quite simple. Let me show you. Okay, so we're looking from the side now, and you can just see how the edge of that brolly, the bit that I've told you is the bit that forms the shape, is literally skimming past Lily. I can take a test shot and I can see if it's right. If it needs slight movement, then we get slight movement, but that's the best way of getting a rough idea of where it should be. Right, I just want to show you the back of the camera there. It really is a true one light wonder. I don't need anything more in the way of fill. Now that is because though the way, the way we've designed our studio, because it's designed to have flat surfaces and returns, but you can see there that what I was talking about before, this is the direction that the key light's coming on, and the eye on the opposite side to the direction of the key light has light into the ocular cavity, and it drags all the way down to that little point of triangle where the nose shadow joins the cheek shadow. That is a Rembrandt pattern, and to be absolutely honest, other than just tweaking the pose ever so slightly in expression, there is absolutely nothing needs doing to that picture whatsoever. I think that's beautiful. That's what my studio was designed to do. What I am going to do though is I'm going to turn the power up, and I'm going to show you that's just a way of darkening the background down a tiny bit. Right, so I've not done anything here other than turn the power up of the light. Now I don't think you can see it as well as I'd like to on the back of the camera, but there you go. There's when we were shooting at 5.6. That's now pressing the wrong screen like an idiot. That's now f16, and you can see that it's darkened down. We'll put both pictures up into the video so you can see what I'm saying. And what I'm trying to show you is that if you increase the power of the key light, the background darkens because the inverse square law takes hold, takes effect, and what happens is the subject distance to light distance is smaller than the distance of Lily to the background, and because the light falls off by a factor of 4 as it travels, it doesn't light it as well, and it gets a little bit darker. Now if I turn this around as well and show you the setup, the other inclusion that we've put in is a big 8 by 4 polyboard that we've painted matte black, and the reason that we've done that is to cut light bouncing round. So you'll also see that the shadow side of Lily is just that little bit darker. We've increased the contrast, and you could do that with anything. Let me show you the position, and we're looking down the studio towards Lily, who's always very patient for these sorts of things. Top model. Let me just bring it up ever so slightly. The bits that we're interested in are the umbrella, which is our key light, and then the new addition of the black panel. Now this could be anything. Well done, Lily. It's like having a Paul Daniels assistant. Let's try that again. So we've got the key light. Can you demonstrate? Brilliant. And we've got the black panel. Brilliant. She should be on a game show, shouldn't she, instead of working here with us? The point being, that black panel could be anything. It could be black velvet. It could be a commercially bought black reflector. The point is that it's absorbing light and it's stopping light bouncing around. That's very, very important in my studio. Now if I limp forward, I can show you that the more you move that panel closer to Lily before it gets into frame, the greater the contrast will be. I'll just show you visually what I mean. So the nearer we push that in, the more contrast that there will be within the image. And again, we'll see that when we look at the final image. So from my point of view, that is our second picture done. Let's make the next one as complicated as we possibly can.